one of our that usually it's Brian who usually is part of the Three Guys podcast, and one of his questions that he always likes to ask is he has I think he's a teenage daughter, and what advice would you would give to her coming up and just in life? And I know you kind of hit it on confidence and stuff, but anything that you would give for advice for her to, on making it in this world and trying to follow your goals and not to give up. And I know you kind of hit on a lot of it, but if you have something else you want to add to it.
And she's a singer too, Sicily, and she does have a YouTube page.
Okay, so if she's in the entertainment industry, I would say first and foremost, if you're a young girl, be very careful and aware. Don't let yourself be blinded by the lights. It's a very beautiful industry, but it could also have dangers to it. So especially, I don't know where she is, but if she's in LA or like in a big city, always be careful. Always, have your back. Always tell people where you are, and other than that, besides the confidence thing, would be just trust your talent and trust your purpose and really just trust the journey and the path you're on. I think that, if I would have leaned a little more towards the people that were supporting me more, towards the positive side, instead of looking so much at the negativity and the people that did not believe in me and all the no's. Because even though I kept doing a lot of things and I kept pushing forward, what held me back a lot were those no's in the back of my head. So if she's able to turn a little more into spirituality and kind of center herself and meditate and read, I think reading is really important. I think that's what I would advise somebody who's a teenager. I kind of wish I would have started my spiritual journey a little earlier in life. And, I think that for people who are not spiritual, it might sound really, I don't know what the word is, but cliche or whatever. But I think that truly when you hone in to your spirituality, and I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about just spirituality, knowing what it really means to quiet your mind, knowing what it really means to be aware. Awareness is so important. If you're aware of, even if you're aware of what you don't want, that's going to show you what you want in your life. So it's just different. I think that's just the foundation of everything. And that's something I would tell her, definitely.
I say all the time, people that have like emotional intelligence and really having that self-awareness of not only yourself, but others and what they're going through, like that's a huge kind of tool to have in your tool belt, especially with whatever you're doing. And, whether it's, you're in the entertainment industry or like Barbara's a teacher or, in work, whatever it may be, just kind of sitting back. It's not always about you. And like you said, purpose. And we've discussed that over the last, I don't know how many episodes that, Barbara's sister wrote a book that we interviewed her last week, which was This Is Not Your Typical Finding Your Purpose book. And she talks about her journey and like the things that she experienced, along the way. So yeah, those are really good things that, are important to kind of talk about. And I think it's good for young kids and, young girls to hear that, and like that advice from, someone who's been through it like yourself.
I made it to Mars, so
yeah.
You must get. I know a Brett, and when I talk to Brett, you get, especially the industry that you both are in, you get a lot of no's, like you don't fit this or you're not that. We're not looking for you. And sometimes it has nothing to do with your talent. It's just a matter of what they're looking for. And it's got to be frustrating for people in your industry like you and Brett that you get those no's. And sometimes you want to say, do I give up? Is this worth it? Or do I keep pushing forward? And I think that's the toughest thing. And I know that's a question for you and Brett that maybe you guys can elaborate on, because sometimes getting the no's will destroy people's confidence.
Yeah, it is definitely very frustrating. I've auditioned for things that I consider that were perfect for me. I have gotten great feedback, and Brett knows that casting directors usually don't give feedback. So when they do, it's a really good thing. And they say usually it's like, yeah, sorry, we had to go with somebody else. And it is very frustrating because a lot of times this is perfect for you, but there's other factors, like maybe somebody knows somebody and they owe them that part, or it's different things that you cannot control. So that is one of the main reasons why I always say you never give up, but you always look for other opportunities and for other ways, different ways. Why? Because the industry evolves, we evolves, everything changes, and you have to change with it. And so if I've never been the type of person to just sit back and say, okay, you told me no, that's it, I'm done. It's like, same thing I'm doing now. It's like, okay, you've told me no so many times. I was great for this, whatever, it didn't work out. I'm going to put all of my energy on my own project, on my own channel, focus on building what I know is right for me, and putting, faith in that project, faith in, maybe a talk show or a podcast, or continue with my interviews, or who knows, a travel show. I don't care. I mean, honestly, what I enjoy connecting with people and being on TV and just being charismatic and hosting things. And, if I can do that in any other way, I don't care if it's for a movie, for whatever show. But I think that it could be very frustrating if acting is 1,000% what you want to do. And for you, it's like, I do this and I never do anything else, then continue to do that, because also where we put our energy is, it eventually will happen for you. For me, it was more like, I know I have interests in different things as well. And if this is not happening for me right now, I'm going to try to go around it and find different solutions, So it all depends on the person and what they really want to do, but there's always a way to make it.
Yeah.
I do have a question. So with all of that, like, what keeps you motivated? Like, what keeps you going when moments when like you're tired, like you don't want to edit anymore or go out for these castings? Like, what gets you like, you know what, even though I'm tired, I'm going to get up and keep going?
It's very difficult for me with editing, because it is editing. I've had to bless it and kind of, send it love. And I've had moments where I've been in front of the computer hating my life. And I don't use that word ever, but that's what that has felt. And I have had breakout, like crying moments in front of the computer. It's just not my thing, but I've had to stop telling myself that it's not my thing. Also, I have a lot of help now with my boyfriend, because he's a photographer, and he understands, tech a lot. He understands like editing and all these things, and he does help me a lot. But when he wasn't in the picture, excuse me, and I was going through that transition of having to learn how to edit, and I was doing everything on my phone. So I think for me, what I would tell somebody who's going through that is give yourself a deadline. I think when we work with a deadline, like when I was working for the website and they were like, by 3 p.m. you have to have your stuff in. I knew that by 3 p.m. I had to have my stuff in. So it was the same thing. It was interesting too with my YouTube channel. At one point I had it be like, new videos every Sunday. And I was very disciplined on Saturdays. I did not care what was happening. I was editing my videos. What happened was when I stopped doing that, then I stopped posting consistently. So you have to be more disciplined than motivated. And that's something that I'm currently working on, because, and they say this, in my business all the time. Also, I've learned a lot with my business. I have grown so much through that business. It is crazy. But they say this all the time, John Maxwell, discipline will get you where motivation won't. So we're not all, motivation is a feeling. We're not always going to feel motivated, but if we're disciplined and we just get up and we do it, that's what's going to get you doing it. Still working on that, but yes.